Hey, welcome all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in and check out your boy, P Funk. Thinking right out here in my lab, and I'm in the book deep. Oh, I got some good stuff for you today. I'm an information giver. I'm not here to compete or do nothing except give information truthfully, honestly, the way I know it. That's it. So you come here, that's what you come to get. That's what I've got for you. Anything else, don't waste your time. I ain't your guy. So let's go. Rightism. That was a disclosure, by the way. All right. But rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling. Story with a message. I give messages in my stories for life. They're life lessons. You tuning and receiving them, I appreciate you. We got a good thing going, so let's continue. I got you. Right thinking mission, and I'm always on it, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking is way of life, and it's your choice. Through mental and spiritual discipline, you practice it daily. That will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. You see where we go with this? Let's get there together. So I asked the question, do you know you? You will when I get through, because that's what I do. It's rhetorical, but if you know how to answer for yourself, tune in. I got you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do. For you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself, and to Mayat, be true. We're still doing the culture thing. I'm going to give you a good one today. Right thinkers, let's talk about the cultural interaction between Hinduism and Vedic culture in India. They share the same landmass. They have different philosophies. I didn't know that. So as I'm learning, I'm getting information. I'm just passing on to you as I get it. So this is the fun part for me. So let's go. In India, the emergence of Hinduism saw a similar situation as with that one that occurred between the Jews and the ancient Egyptian religion. Okay? The Jews got theirs, Egyptian got theirs, no problem. But every culture has those issues. Obviously, I'm reading about it now. But in the later period, around circa 800 BCE to 600 BCE, in the early Vedic, Aryan religious teachings was related to what they had a god called Indra during circa 1000 BCE, and this was supplanted by the teachings related to the Upanishadic and this Vaishnava tradition. They gave me everything but how to pronounce the damn word. Okay, so I'm going to butcher it. Why? Because y'all didn't give me the pronunciation. Usually hit the button and say the pronunciation. I went all the way down. I don't give a crap about this stuff. I don't want to study. I just want to know how to pronounce it. So, Vaishnava tradition, it includes what? The worship of God Vishnu. Now, Vishnu, as well as his avatar, the divine incarnation, this is what the Christians got the concept from, in the form of Rama and Krishna. Okay, now the Vaishnava's tradition was developed by who? The indigenous Indian people to what? To counter and surpass, elevate, evolve beyond the Vedic traditions and develop, and the religious traditions, and in the epic stories known as the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. Those is the Upanishads, but the Vedas got Vishnu, who was incarnated as Rama and Krishna. I thought you was all the same. See what I know? Again, I ain't proficient. I don't teach that. So I'm learning as we go what it's what about. And I don't have a problem with that. And respectively, that's how they came out. And throughout these, watch this, and throughout these and other stories, it is related how Vishnu's incarnation are more powerful than Indra. So they got a bigger God, a higher God, who is what? Who portrayed by being feeble and weak. In some of the writings of the Upanishadic traditions, the writings which succeed the Vedic tradition contain specific verses which seem to profess that the wisdom of the Vedas is lesser than that of the Upanishads. See, we got a problem. My God better than yours. My God higher than yours. And watch this, that they therefore superseded the Vedas. One such statement can be found in the Mundaka Upanishad philosophy, where they said the following segment details the view of two sets of scriptures in relation to each other and two forms of knowledge. I italicized the portions by my man Ashby. He got some stuff in here that he added to it. I'm going to read past that. But they're saying, those who know Brahma, that's the guy for India, okay, say that there are two kinds of knowledge. You ready? Listen, pay attention. You got the higher and the lower. This is a philosophy. The lower knowledge of the Vedas, we know what that is, okay? I'm doing this to show you. Yeah, down here, that's the lower. The Rig, the Sama, the Yajara, and the Atravana, meaning it's all phonics, grammar, etymology, meta, and astronomy. That's all how teaching tools to make a point. But they consider it to be the higher knowledge, self-knowledge, I gave it away. Knowledge of that which one knows this unchanges reality. When you know you and God are one, that's what they're telling you. And everybody had a way to say it, to present it, but to teach it. It wasn't just, no, they just try to put it to you in a way in which you can go with the flow, so to speak. So you got to understand what they said. That's what you got the preachers. Everybody got a Bible. How many people understand the Bible? That's what you got the preachers to break it down for you. I'm just doing my thing from the right thing and perspective. Same thing, just information. That's it. Moving on. I'm almost done. Oh, I know. I'm just starting. We about to get good. Let me read this out from the Hindu concept in the Vedics. They say those who know Brahma, and there are two kinds of knowledge, higher and lower. And watch this. Now, they're telling you the higher knowledge is that which one knows themselves. That's what they come down to. Moving on. Now, this is when the lesson begins, because that lesson's over. Show you the difference in the concepts. Now let's talk about the cultural interactions between Hindus and the Buddhists. Both philosophy, both not belief system. They both have philosophical concepts and mythological stories that substantiate their reason to believe and do what they do. Let's go. Now, this is not nobody's belief. This is what they philosophize. And they're going to tell you. A similar situation that transpired where in Kemet, the Commission religion, with respect to Judaism. We all know the Jews substantiate their existence by being out of Egypt or Kemet. Moving on, we ain't gonna go back and forth with that. All right, that's all. Again, we doing upper knowledge now. We ain't doing that, breaking it down. No, I'm past that. You should be understanding where we got this point. So let's go. Now, you got the same concept they had with Egyptian and Judaism. But now, with the Hindus, with respect to Vedic religion, as discussed above, we know about that concept, occurred between Hinduism and Buddhism. With the advent of Buddhism, what happened? The story of Buddha, the struggle to attain what? Enlightenment. All about knowledge of self, and the interceptive and the most influential work of the Buddhist myth. Ding, 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 they understood. But when it relates how he strove to practice the esoteric paths of Hinduism, the Upanishadic wisdom, the Vedanta, Brahmanism, again, esoteric, yoga, etc., mystical systems, they had philosophies. I'm done. And he practiced, this was about to get good. We in India and we doing Buddhism. We in Hinduism and Buddhism. We always gonna come back to what? You'll see. So give you the heads up. Now he practiced renunciation of the world, okay? And what? All of its penance and the asceticism, meaning you want material things. When you give up that, watch this, even to the point of he practiced renunciation of everything, even to the point where he almost starved himself to death. He gonna just meditate. He gonna get enlightened or all else. But watch this. Now, then what happened? The light went off. Eureka! What happened? He discovered a new path. When you're doing something, I got this here for a reason. I got my little Buddha. Okay, I got one. Little happy Buddha, man. Okay. For this lesson, I put it right here just to make sure I let you know. I got them too. I understand what they do. Watch this. I don't have a problem with nobody's philosophy. If it interests me, I would gauge in it and interest and read it and understand it. For what? For that purpose, to understanding it and respecting it. That's what it is. Watch this. He came up with what they call the middle path. And for a long time, it was held to what? Superior to Hinduism. And by many, it found a great following where? In China, in Tibet. These are all philosophical monks who practice a philosophy that they implement the philosophy. They don't believe it. They implement it. They live it. They become it. Okay? That's why I say this ain't belief. This is a philosophy that you implement. Well, how you know yours work? I live it. I practice it. That's how I know mine work. Now tell me how yours work. Your God, how your God work for you religiously. Spare me. Moving on, I ain't got time. But watch this. Everybody practice it as well as other countries. It spread. And you got now what they call Indochina. What the hell is that? Chinese with India concept, I guess. But currently in the West, you got Buddhism is rarely, watch this, related to its roots. Where did it come from? In Hinduism and the yoga philosophy. Ding, 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 ding. And you say yoga. We're going back to Egypt. Like who's on first? Egypt always on first. Upon close examination of the what? The roots of the teachings of the middle path, the way, along with other major tenets, again, tenets of close examination, okay, of Buddhism, such as their philosophy. You ready? Karma, aka action or Iri. Egypt. Maya, the cosmic illusion. The Mayas, back in Egypt. Okay? And you got samsara, which is the philosophy of worldly suffering. Why do we suffer? Because we're ignorant and we have desires of the world. And so when we get what we want, we're happy. When we don't, we suffer. When you get past that, that's how you end suffering. I don't suffer. Moving on. Those are things that you can practice and make them come true. You ain't got to worry about it to work. No, practice it and find out. I say, don't believe me, practice it. Try it. It can be traced, watch this, can be traced back to the Upanishadic tradition. Again, they right next door to us, and they let me know they share, especially in what they call the Isha Upanishad. Thus, you got the early Buddhist teachers who found it necessary to disparage the other practices of other what? Of the order to highlight what? The Buddhist faith, and yet what developed is what they call the reworking of some teachings that was there previously. They didn't create nothing, they didn't invent nothing, they just reworked it, and I ain't got a problem with that. But watch this. Not only in Indian mystical philosophy, but it's also in the mystical and yoga teachings out of ancient Egypt. I tell you, it all comes back to Egypt. When you know what you know, you ain't got to hoop out of I ain't got time for all that. I'm just using this as my perfect example. Let's do about talking. This is going to be good. You got Buddha, who emphasized what? Attaining salvation. Knowledge of self. Okay, he says salvation. Rather than what? Asking so many questions. Oh God, why me? Oh God, okay. Again, philosophy that you can practice. And he likened people who what? Who ask too many intellectual questions to a person who house in lifetime is burning down, and while they ask the question, well, how did the fire get started? Who did it? Instead of first worrying about did everybody get out the house safe. See? What they think first. Further, you got the Buddha who saw that renouncing attachment to the worldly objects was not primarily a physical discipline. No, that didn't mean nothing. Okay, some people do it and didn't realize, shouldn't have done that. Too late. Moving on. So, watch this. It's not just a physical discipline, but it's more important. It is a psychological one. Everything is up here. So therefore, he constructed a philosophical discipline. I practice spiritual philosophical discipline for that reason. Why? To implement it and live it and to prove that it works. Same way Christians who follow the tenets of the commandments show that to prove that it worked. If you do that, it will. I never said it didn't. Moving on. And I'm telling you, I know it do. What I got when I practice. So, but watch this. And it's based on what? Already existing philosophical tenets that explain the psychology, behind human suffering. I just broke it down right quick. And how to end such suffering. The middle path emphasizes, I see me doing that. That means balance. Okay. Whenever I hear balance, I'll go right here. Why? That's my That's why it go right to that. Balance rather than extreme. I teach the same concept, philosophy, basically. And watch this. He now recognized that extremes, be it good or bad, causes mental upsetness because one extremes leads to another. Again, and the mind loses the capacity for rational thought and intuitional awareness, which transcends thought itself. When you're under egoistic emotions and feelings, you're going to do bad things, wrong things that you're going to regret. When you get control of that, the less things you do that regret, the less regrets you have. Make sense? It's a philosophy. It ain't me being profound. No, I studied, I learned this, I know this. It's a fact. It's not me. It's what it is. I learned. And so therefore, mental balance. Stop right there. I got to get this. I got a chance right here. Mental balance is using your left and right hemisphere, your brain. That's what you see me doing this. Stand on it. Why? Now you can make a decision based on what's right and wrong. And you make the decision. You're the deciding factor. If it's good, you'll be rewarded with a blessing. If it's bad, you'll get a visit from karma. Moving on. That's a simple fact. And that's not my law. That's the law that's been handed down. And when you put mental balance into use in your daily life, you will make less mistakes. I guarantee you that. I'm living proof. Simple. Again, how you know it works? I use it. So therefore, maintaining and having mental balance, maintaining your cool. I just did the Stoics. The Stoics understand balance, maintaining your cool. I call it from the hood. It meant stay and chill. No matter what going on, that you really don't care. That's all cool. For me, it was something called different in ancient times. Again, still the same thing. My man. So watch this. Now, maintain balance, you will achieve mental peace and serenity. Those are the benefits and rewards of that practice. When you get good at it, you will reach these things. And that's not something they give you. That's something you obtain yourself, which will allow you to make the transitional vision of your true self and to actually emerge in your mind as one. The heart and mind coherence. When emotion and knowledge come together, that's God. Spirit, conscious, that's God. That's God. That's what you got. That's what you should be using. Sorry, I get excited. Because this is my heart right here. This is the lesson in life. Don't make a difference what you practice, who you practice. This is still a philosophical concept that works for anybody. The following segment from the Isha Upanishad will show that having a balanced approach to thinking in life and proceeding according to your middle path. I told you that. Excuse me. Sorry. But this ain't my teachings. This is Hindu and Buddhism. This ain't even my stuff. But I agree 100%. Sorry. But the middle path, with respect to daily practice of right thinking philosophy, we call it spiritual discipline. Hey, excuse me. It was already addressed as being desirable for spiritual growth prior to the emergence of Buddhism. Back to Egypt. Buddhism later represented an accent or the emphasis on this feature of what? The doctrine, so that it is clear that Buddhism adopted, it didn't create, it didn't formulate, it adopted many pre-existing philosophical principles from the Hindus. Again, ain't no shame in getting something from somebody else and enhancing it to make it work for you. That's all I did with my philosophy. I didn't make this. I just tweaked it a little bit. So I didn't change the philosophy. I just changed my presentation of it. That's all. Moving on. I'm about to wrap it up with this one. This is the concept. The darkness are they doomed who devote, listen, themselves only to life. That means the physical world, in the world. All you believers, religious believers, listen. And to a greater darkness will they fall who devote themselves only to meditation. Every person who meditates, put it in perspective. You got to watch this. You got to see what I'm doing. Weave it in. Okay. I'm not going to sit here all day and meditate. I give it chunks of my time daily for the purpose of what it's intended. Again, balance. Some people overdo it. And good stuff can be harmful too. Moving on. Understand it. So I'm trying to show you what. It ain't just this, it ain't just that. They show you the Trinity. So watch this, they're showing you right here. Those who devote themselves only to meditation. It ain't just worldly things. It ain't just meditating. Watch this. This is the best part. Life in the world alone leads one result. Meditation alone leads to another. Again, separate the two, but heart and mind. So we have what? We have heard from the wise. Again, they who devote themselves both to life in the world and to the daily meditation. That's part of my lifestyle. By meditating, life in the world overcomes death. You no longer fear this existence in the physical body. Why? I know I'm more than the body. That's why it's easy to understand that. If you stand and dying, you ain't got this thing figured out. Simple as that. Oh, no, I'm saying if you ain't understanding how the spirit operates, you ignorant. So I'm trying to enlighten you so you can practice for yourself. So that can take away what? Your own personal fear of death. I don't have it. Don't worry about mine. Because you have something. I got to have it. Moving on. I have knowledge. Do you? Of self. Oh, I have self-knowledge. Do you? So again, just because you don't have it, don't mean other people don't. That's my point. And sometimes because you have it, don't mean other people do also. Moving on. But when you overcome the idea of death, and by what? Meditating, and you achieve immortality. Why? Because you becoming communing with your higher self, not the physical self. Sorry. Wrapping it up, taking it in. To darkness are they who are doomed, who worship only that believable God or the physical body, and to a greater darkness for they who only worship in the spirit, meaning you can't have one without the other. So you got to have what? Maya. That takes away the problem in the philosophical point of view and perspective. I got more, but I'm going to stop right now because I know how long y'all memories are, so I don't want to hold you too long, but I still want to give you good information, and I'll be right back with some more for you. But in closing, right thinkers, may you all live to be 100. Me, 100 miles a day. So I never know that my right thinkers who learn about culture and the actions have passed away, but I got more for you.